We're the indie project, Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cats, Ginjey Bear and Furrnando. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home.
Good afternoon. You nearly tripped over. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new video from here inside our barn in sunny Central Portugal. It's actually so warm. It's the 16th of December. So a lot of you guys ask if these videos are in real time, and they are. So the battle is on to get in for Christmas, and this morning something very exciting happened. We received 1/4 of our sofa. I'd forgotten how nice it is up here. An actual little bedroom. So I've just fitted the penultimate boards, and what I used is this ratchet strap just to pull them nice and tight. They would have been fine, but the boards themselves were a little bit wonky, and we couldn't select any others because we'd already Danish oiled them too, and we've run out of Danish oil.
Still not arrived.
It's still not arrived, and we're probably like nearly a month into waiting for this Danish oil, which is just ridiculous. Seems to happen to us a lot in Portugal. Stuff just doesn't turn up in the post, and it's really slow, which is a bit frustrating when you're on a time limit and you're on a deadline, but it's fine. We're going to work around it. I'm going to cut now on the table saw the last 2 boards to go up, and we're just not going to Danish oil them from the underside before they go on. We'll just do it afterwards. It's only a tiny little bit of the floor, and we just need to keep moving forwards. I'm just trying to find the straightest board I can, because the last 2 are going to be cut down on the table saw. We're going to take about 2 centimetres off, so they're a little bit too big. But what we don't want is we don't want a really warped board. We have the problem where we can't pull it in because we can only use our hands in the corner. There's nothing to leverage off whatsoever.
Is that the last one?
No, we've got another pack.
I was going to say, because we won't have a choice then whether we use it or not.
This one's pretty good.
Is it? Remember, we'll be chopping off about 20 centimetres in length as well. Whether that means anything.
Let's go for this one. We've got options. If it doesn't fit, we can try another one.
The boards are cut and in place. A bit of a strenuous task because, as Theo said, there's absolutely zero leverage, so we're just having to use our fingers and our body weight and like pull on it. I think if someone walked in on us both doing that, they'd be like, what the hell are these people doing? We look really weird in like child's pose from yoga, just pulling on a piece of wood basically. But we've managed to get them in, they fit, they look great, and Theo's just fixing them in right now. We're going to be face nailing these because there's no way we can hammer in at such an angle. So once this is done, it's done.
We flipping did it. The mezzanine floor is complete, nearly. There's one more thing that we need to do. Well, Bee needs to do, because obviously she always does all the sanding.
And the varnishing.
But I think it just needs a light sand, 120 grit.
It definitely does, because accidentally we'd tap the mallet on the floor and it would make streaks that I now can't see, but there are streaks that need sanding.
Yeah, there's just like little black marks from where I've been rubbing my dirty ass all over. Not my bare ass.
Skid marks! Sorry, man.
No skid marks. I meant my dirty trousers.
Okay.
My dirty pants for
Dirty
the American
pants.
viewers. Anyway, the floor is down. We're just going to put up some dust sheets. Bee's going to do a light sand, 120 grit, and then we're going to do a tester tonight.
I don't want to do a tester, I just want to go full in.
Bee just wants to put the varnish straight on. I want to do just a tester to see how it looks, make sure everything's all right, because the last thing you want to do is put something on your floor and it just be terrible.
Okay.
I don't see how it can be terrible, but just for peace of mind, tomorrow, then it will take you like 20 minutes tomorrow to paint this.
True.
It takes 2 coats, I think.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3.
Right. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, quite a few things actually. I can pass you some things from above, and then summon you on the ladder. Okay, I'll do this. Goodbye, nails. I think that's the last time we'll be using you.
See you later. Been good.
I've been good. This has been good. It's going to be even gooder later on. So I'm back on the mezzanine, we've put all the sheeting up and we've done this to save ourselves a task later on, because sanding is very dusty, very dirty, and with our beautiful white walls, the last thing we want is loads of dust settling on them and having to clean them. Like, forget that, that's not going to happen, we're not going to do that. We prevented that from happening by putting these up, and actually we'll keep them up when I varnish this, hopefully tomorrow, depending on the test. So for now, I'm just looking around, there's the odd pencil mark, there's some smudges here and there. Just gonna give it a light sand, hopefully it won't take too long, because I do hate sanding. I feel like I'm constantly sanding and varnishing, but here we are, it's gotta be done. One last step, one step closer to our bedroom being done. Literally covered in wood dust. My hands are vibrating from this as well.
It's good that we put the sheets up.
Yeah, they have made a massive difference, and also had the window open, so there was a really good breeze coming through, which is fab. And the floor looks fresh, looks brand new. I mean, it is brand new, but it's even more brand new than it did. So
no scuffs.
I think with the lick of varnish, should be good.
Well done.
Thanks.
today, and I thought I'd just go through with you guys so you understand what our flooring's going to be like. So I'll set up basically exactly how we're going to do it today with putting these beams on the floor. The insulation's going to go in just before we do the floorboards because it's only 25mm. If you put any pressure on it, it's cork, it will snap.
Well, Furrnando sounded yesterday when it was there.
It just went, ooh. So basically, we have our floor battens, and these are 50mm, and then we have 20mm really small battens here, just to sit the 25mm cork insulation off the ground and give an air gap of about 20mm. So what that's going to do is allow us to put the floorboard there, and the cork will sit pretty much right up to the floorboard, and we've got an air gap under the whole floor. This is really important, so if any moisture or condensation does get onto the concrete floor, it means it has a way that the air can move and it can dry out quickly and efficiently. The other thing we're going to do is, instead of laying plastic over the whole floor, because we already have a DPC underneath this concrete floor, so in theory what will happen is any moisture that wants to come up through the floor won't be able to, because it will just hit the plastic and it will want to go around the edge. So we're just going to cut strips of the DPC plastic that we used, and we're going to put them underneath the wood. So we're going to cut strips, put them underneath the wood here, so that there's a separation from the concrete to the wood. You always want to do that because wood's not meant to go straight to concrete, otherwise it can rot. So that's what we're going to be doing. I think the first thing we need to do is figure out how long we need to make these plastic strips and cut them to size. So I've just made up a wooden template of the beams that we're going to use. So I've got the two 20 by 25mm battens attached to the 50mm batten, and what Bee's doing is she's just cutting down the DPC, and she's just going to cut lots of strips, and then we will tape these two layers of DPC together that will span the whole width of the building, and that will stop any damp getting into the wood. We're leaving no stone unturned here for sure.
Well, I did it. That was an unfun experience, but it's done. And Theo's back now, and he gets to do the real hard work today. So let's get going.
So I've got my knee pads on, I'm raring to go, and we've actually laid the first beam. So the first beam is down. We decided that we just need to lay a beam. It doesn't really matter. The building is not straight, the walls are not straight, nothing is straight. Everything is like bumps all over the place. You've got bumps coming from this side, bumps coming from that side, and bumps coming from this side. So all you have to do is you have to measure each beam as you go. The first ones are fine because it's a full beam, and then the second one we just measure it, and it will either be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. And it doesn't matter if the frame goes that way and the building's going that way a little bit, because it's literally just a frame to connect the tongue and groove flooring and to facilitate the cork insulation fitting on top. So I think we're good to go, and now we can just bang in the beams.
Yeah, the first one looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's all in there, solid, and we're good to go. I'm raring, I really am. I have had a Red Bull, so. Things are going really well, as you can see. We've got 4 of the beams down and we're just working on another one. Unfortunately, the battery ran out in the drill, so we've just gone to put the battery on charge because we only have 1 of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do all of these beams all the way across to the other side of the room, and then maybe tomorrow we'll work on these, because these are more technical, because I need to notch out for the piping for the wiring. So I don't know if I mentioned, but the electrician came and he laid some piping, and it means that we can put the floor, like finished floor on, and I'm going to cut some hole saw where the plugs are going to go, and he's just going to feed the wires through the piping. So that's perfect. But yeah, really happy with the progress so far. So first of all, what I do is I've got these little 20 by 25 runners, and first of all I attach these onto the beam. It's just easier. Really thin wood, so it's a little bit warped, so by me screwing this into the batten just means it's perfectly straight. It means the insulation will sit just underneath the floorboards, which is ace. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll show you what I'm using to fasten to the concrete floor, because they're just excellent. Nick actually told me about them, and I'm blown away. They're so easy and quick. So if you're in Portugal or the rest of the world, definitely recommend using these things. These knee pads are a game changer. My knees feel perfectly fine, very comfortable.
Thank you very much, Rachel and Simon, for them.
I might just start wearing them like normally. Yeah.
Oh, I think I hear the wood delivery.
Really?
Is it?
Don't know, either that or the generator. Might be the truck arriving. Let's try and get some of these.
Oh no.
Okay. That's our cue to stop.
Okay, so that was a false alarm. It was just one of our friends dropping by, but it honestly sounded exactly like the delivery truck, so we were very excited. Best we better get on. Best we better start working again. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
We are on edge,
we're gonna start
waiting for this flooring to arrive, because as soon as that arrives, pretty much good to go. We are waiting for some screws, but it will all fly on. Once this hard part's been done, this is the technical part, and then hopefully the flooring should just fly on like nobody's business.
Fingers crossed. Oh, I didn't even get that on camera. You did it so fast. Have you got a spare? That looks a bit massive. Hang on, why don't you use that other one?
No, it's fine.
Alright.
I wouldn't use it if it wasn't fine.
Okay. Okay.
It's a 4. This is 4.5.
Alright.
Better than the last one.
Would you say this is the longest part?
This is the most frustrating part because it's like putting the battens into the actual floor, into the concrete floor is a fairly quick process, but attaching these, it's a little bit of a pain, but it's necessary to get that air gap so that air can flow under the insulation. It'll make a big difference. So these are the little fixings that I'm using. I think they're called like tap-in fixings. Basically, it's like you would with a raw plug, but it's all one piece. So it means that I can drill all the way through the wood, all the way through the concrete, and I don't have to lift the wood up, insert a raw plug, and it's just not a pain. It's really quick. And I'm using 80mm 6x80. They're brilliant. All I need to do is stop these beams moving about, fasten them to the floor. The floorboards are going to keep them together. As soon as we put a couple floorboards on, it'll be so rigid, which is brilliant. And all that happens is you poke them in as far as you can, and then use a hammer the screw inside down. It's like a nail with a screw head, and you bash it down, and what it does is it opens up the plastic end and creates the fixing, which is very good. So
and if you want, you can unscrew it. That's why that's.
Yeah, then you can unscrew it if there's a problem. And the first one I did need to unscrew because I forgot to drill a what would it be called? Basically, so the drill bit, a countersink. I'm going brain dead. Looking good.
It is looking good.
Soon we will have a floor. Right. Where's this?
We've made it to the final piece. Hopefully we can get it in. We might have to move the wiring a little bit that the electrician, well, it's not wiring, it's tubing that the electrician put down because, oh, you know what? Do we need these on that side?
Just cut that off there.
Yeah.
And then it can just fit in.
Yeah, so we're thinking actually we could just cut out this little bit here and then it should slot in quite nicely because it almost fits.
Friday evening, it's dark outside and I'm ready for
I thought you were probably put the wrong battery on.
I'm ready for a nice dinner, cold can of Coke and relax. But I've just realised I've got to get all the footage sorted out. Anyway.
You can still relax whilst doing that, I'm sure.
Anyway. Right, let's see what I can do there. You can tell we're tired.
How tired we are! Oh my gosh. This is how tired we are. We literally thought that cutting out a piece of the wood would somehow make it magically fit over the tube when the tube's running the same way as the wood. I think we need to just take that whole piece of wood off. I can't actually believe that we just did that. I wonder if anyone who's watching this spots that mistake before we do it. I don't know.
At least it's...
Hang on, why are you... Oh, sorry, I forgot that you moved out of the ground.
You just stay quiet, you're tired as well.
Why are you screwing that back in? Because we just unscrewed the other thing.
Trust me.
I trusted you when you did that stupid thing.
So what we've decided to do, because the problem we're having is the last beam falls slightly smaller than 50 centimetres. So we've been going 1/2 metre all of these beams just because the insulation is 1/2 metre, so it means that we can just pop the insulation in really easily. But what we're going to do is this last beam, we're going to do it
40?
probably 30,
No, 30.
and then we're just going to cut the insulation because it's nicer to have a straight beam. The problem we've got with this stone building is the walls go like that. So although it fits perfectly fine over here, yeah, there's a big knobbly stone that sticks out, so you can't have one straight line. It's much better to have a straight line. It'll be so much easier when it comes to the insulation process. And then what we're going to do is, obviously we're going to have a small gap here, and we're just going to get offcuts, and we'll put them up against the wall so we've got something for the floorboards to fasten onto. So there's still a little bit of to do, a little bit of playing around, but tomorrow we'll get the rest of it done and then we're ready for flooring.
Yay! If the flooring ever arrives.
It feels like a long time coming. Apparently the flooring's coming today. We've been told it's been coming other days and it hasn't, so yeah, we'll hang about, see what happens tonight. I mean, I don't know what time it is.
It's about 6:30.
Yeah, 6:30, so I don't know. He's turned up before at like 8, so could happen.
Right, we're going to sign off.
Oh,
Are you alright there?
we're getting there, guys. I know I look like an absolute beauty in these, but I'm ready for bed, to be honest.
Well, there we have it. It's been a good day. We've learned a lot. Another new task that we've never done in our lives. Kind of little bit similar actually to the flooring in our van, but that was a totally different experience. So anyway, if you want to watch us do our whole van conversion, I'm going to link that video because that's actually a really good video. So anyway, yeah, anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. We're so close now. It's insane. Bye.